bebree na ekoso ewo NDC amaniko nim Ghana for enda ne niyan kwankwohwe Eii Volta region 2012 and former president John Dramani Mahama awarded we road contract edema obi a friend Usman Kanazoe or Burkina Bay nipa what the sapa pay road construction here ewie no and also say former president John Dramani Mahama edi road construction edi Ghana for road construction attempt. Now even Usman Kanazoe are awarding the contract no can say what is really going on as till this recent time Siana Baba Bonto Abekasa. Now some of the two that Ghana for a Brubuja to the sense Obi Eii Volta region a new one woman who said from President John Dramani Mahama he's not the man who he says he is. And then I met me aka. Ghana for men sembe ne kuni kuti in sama Eii Usman Kanazoe editu da embra. Pedamuina ase.
And former President John Dramani Mahama awarded 46.6 kilometer road Eastern Corridor Road project. A the sidelining Ghanaian contractors, road contractors. A scene chain at the command Burkina Bay road contractor Usmanu Kanazoe said on yes Aquino. April 2016 or yes Aquino Kwako Commission. And a former president John Dramani Mahama Sansu di Ghanaian contractors who fell said Omumba no mumbe she sanye ya kwine. Na Usmanu Kanazoe Aquina Wine is one of the best high quality roads who wana brabo. And I menasa Azuri say ding kwine ben kran ye trio bisika so mbeye. Why president Jina Simpie so edi Ghana for contractors road contractors who fell kaso mumbe suya Burkina Bay road contractor na kwine ben kra anomaye. 1 month after yes acquire now so I started say A22 man for crapo they compare N1 road under Millennium Development Goals former President John Ejekun Kufuor spearheaded with former President George Bush United States Accra at a highway heavy trucks for years sa acquire A22 year till now acquire years so 1 month pay former President John Dramani Mahama Eddie D Ghana for road contractors attempt so hiring 82 and Menasa Azuri say this weekend or decided say okwa fast akwan so na no hu edru no yenko hwe right up or the to regarding the Eastern Corridor Road yen share the background and history of it say na seminar former President John Dramani Mahama kan fa Kanazoe won wakoje bribe and inti na yede obonabaso e wo bedwe yenko I say that was precisely how I felt when I drove past Peki on Saturday. Say Odiesini so say obe go through a gory experience, obe go through a manhunumu because of a kind of fashion. Now so ni who dream no ono kwa oye journalist impo oni say the new patriotic party government yes acquire to that extent. Now say I had braced myself for the deplorable road from Peki to Peve and another torture to have before turning towards Pando. But I cruised past these towns in a few minutes because that portion of the road had been asphalted and the contractors were still on site working to complete the project. In the Ghana road contractors now, a former president of Dramani Mahama di omatem no mama Menasa Azuri who edrinisa or see that road forms part of the Eastern Corridor Road, a major campaign promise of the Atamils and the Mahama administrations. Of all the road projects in Ghana, the Eastern Corridor Road has been the dearest to my heart. I grew up in Ketakrachi and traveled on that tortuous corridor either to Tamale or Accra. When the NDC administration started talking about it, I was filled with excitement and hope. However, my hopes were dashed when Mahama left office in 2016. Indeed, already now dream now or the Aqua see former President John Dramani Mahama so say a year stronghold of the NDC are almost about in tens and hundreds of thousands NDC. onim say omo beye no friendship omo beye nice amomo now so former president John Dramani Mahama lose election in 2016 and ne hope ni na say omo beye sa kwan no oto baby this should tell you baby na koma and the belief system adding ewo I say I remember the source section between Asikuma and Peki that saw some work under Mahama administration, but for reasons I cannot explain, the asphalted road developed dangerous potholes that are still visible after they were patched later. Inti, for President of Dramani Mahama saw sa kwan mu Asikuma ni Peki baby kakrebi and a former President of Dramani Mahama eye ho adwuma. Now so after a free officer potholes are at samna at say lagoon and I started say APP ewo kwan so I so atem I the pictures na in 2016 I also investigated a story that involved Jibril Usmanu Kanazoe, the contractor who worked on the 46.4 kilometer Dodo Pepeso Nkwanta road. That road developed potholes a month after it was commissioned, and when I revisited in 2020, sections of it needed total reconstruction. I fear the NPP administration would abandon the Eastern Corridor Road because it was an NDC's project. Besides, that road travels through an NDC stronghold. Waiting and coffee be prayer bufu adding because the new patriotic party are buying a choir or more in certain areas. Still na nkrofo ni so ento abama na otu ze ebro adwene ene wonti aso so nkrofo we say the strongholds of the NPP they shouldn't be taken for granted because where otu aba continuously e man nkrofo bi nanso no ma jawo sinchen nanso no mo ye adwuma e wo bibia nkrofo na ye ento aba ene emomo. Now see for years travelers to the Volta region, Oti and the north have endured the worst nightmare on the Eastern Corridor Road because the contractors left the site after tampering with the existing road and it worsened. One day, I got to Peve and instead of continuing to Peki and Asikuma, I climbed the mountain and crossed over to Sokoda side and headed towards to Shito. From where I proceeded to Asikuma on another occasion when I was coming from Accra to Hohoi, then came from Ho to Accra. That was how much sacrifice some travelers endured in order to avoid the misery on that section of the road. Those traveling in passenger buses did not have any other options. In terms of a quine, they were assay ewo sa a quine soon, and no cranty, and then in Kofu Bibri, avoid this arrow, kwa ofa Peki, could PM Asikuma, and son and woman PM Accra from Hohoi, almost Dodges Aquarium. Now, so I could therefore not hide my joy when I traveled to Kratche last Saturday. For the first time in years, I did not curse the politicians in my heart while traveling from Peki to Habe. It was one of those moments I felt Akufo-Addo government deserved some plaudits. I even started to believe in the year of roads mantra when some people who have traveled further north said many portions of the Eastern Corridor Road from Hohoi towards Jasikan, Kajebi, Nkwanta and beyond have seen